Hi, this is Mike from Automogic. Is now a good time to talk?
Yes.
Great. We help businesses like yours to save time and money by automating repetitive tasks using AI. I just have a couple quick questions to see if our solutions might be a fit for you. Interested in more detail?
Sure.
We offer a free consultation where one of our specialists walks you through what's possible and gives you a personalized roadmap. Would you like me to schedule that for you?
Yes, please.
Tomorrow at 11 a.m. UTC is available. Could you please provide your phone number and email address for the appointment confirmation? Your consultation is all set for tomorrow at 11 a.m. UTC. I've sent a confirmation to your email, mike@gmail.com. Is there anything else you'd like to know?
No, that's all for now. Thank you so much. Hey there, welcome to this full course where I'm going to be showing you how to build your own AI voice agent in a powerful platform called VAPI. If you have any questions, post them in the comments below. And also, you can check out the website by clicking the link down below. It's completely free to get started. You will need to supply some credits in order to start running the AI agent. But other than that, you can get started for free. So I'm just going to show you what the website looks like real quick. As you can see, there's a lot of different companies using VAPI for building out AI voice agents. We've got over 620 million calls placed through VAPI, 1 million assistants launched, and over 220,000 developers. So it's, I would say, one of the best platforms for building out these agents. And it also integrates with 40 or more apps in a snap. You can connect OpenAI, Anthropic Claude, ElevenLabs, Google Sheets. You can connect up your calendar to schedule calls. It's just amazing what this platform can do. And in this tutorial, I'm going to be showing you how to set one of these up from start to finish, including an automation within make.com, which will be in charge of placing the calls. And you also learn how to build out the assistant from start to finish as well. So with that being said, please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and I hope you get a lot of value out of this course. And also check the link in the description below for my school community. It's completely free to join. We've got almost 500 members in there at the time of recording, and would love to see you inside school as well. So in order to get started, you will obviously need to create your free account on VAPI. And then once you log in, you'll be presented with your dashboard. So this is the first thing you see when you log into VAPI, and it's the overview tab. So from here, you can see the total number of calls placed, the average duration, total cost, and then also the call success rate as well. So this shows if the calls were successful or not. That's in here. And then you can also take a look at your metrics tab as well. For me, I've called, it's been about 16 minutes worth of calls, and I've spent about $1.41, and that's the average cost per call. So in order to get started, you will need to buy credits inside VAPI. So you basically just connect up your credit or debit card, and then you can purchase credits. And that's about 16 credits for $10. I've already added some credits, and it's using those credits when placing the calls. And if you want to check the pricing for each particular model, you can see that here. If you're using VAPI, then it's going to be about 0.05 per minute, or on average about 0.13 per minute. And it varies depending on the model that you're using for generating the voice. And that's within the assistance tab. This is where we're going to be spending the majority of our time during this course, is actually creating the assistant. I would say this is the most important step when you're building out the AI voice agent. We can also take a look at workflows as well. So you can create specific workflows depending on what type of agent you're building. And you can even place outbound calls directly from VAPI as well. So all you have to do is upload a CSV file with all the phone numbers using a specific template, and then select your assistant and just start calling people, right? We've also got tools here as well, which is going to be very important throughout the course, because we need to actually schedule the calls on a calendar. And it can do a bunch of other things as well. But in this case, we're mostly going to be focusing on creating calls and checking availability on the calendar. And all of that can be done directly from within VAPI. I'll also show you kind of how to do it within make.com as well. But for the most part, we're just going to be using VAPI for the assistant. And also we have an automation over here in make.com as well. And also you need to set up a phone number as well. This is going to be through Twilio. So I'll show you how to set up your phone number within Twilio. It's not too difficult. You will have to buy a phone number, which is free because Twilio provides you a certain number of credits when you create your account. So I'll show you how to set up that phone number, which we're going to be using for placing the calls. In this part of the course, I'm going to show you how to create your assistant within VAPI. Like I said earlier, this is basically one of the most important steps when building out your AI voice agent. And you need to make sure you get this right. Otherwise, it's not going to work properly, right? So in order to get started building out the assistant, we're just going to click on Create Assistant here. And then you can choose the specific template that you want to use. So as you can see, there's a couple different options here. You can choose customer support specialist, lead qualifying specialist, appointment scheduler, which is basically what we're going to be using in this specific example. So I'm just going to select appointment scheduler and then create the assistant. So that will create a new assistant right here. And it's going to be specifically for scheduling appointments, which is what we want. So from here, we're going to need to configure all of these different sections, including the model, voice, transcriber, tools, analysis, advanced, and that's about it, right? So I'm just going to show you how to do this step by step. For the model, we're going to want to select the provider. In this case, I would just recommend using OpenAI, but there's a lot of different LLMs that you could choose from. You could use Anthropic Claude, which is really good at writing. You could use Google Gemini. You could use DeepSeek, Perplexity. There's a lot of options here. But for most use cases, I would recommend just using OpenAI, and then you can select the model over here. You can also see the pricing as well for each one of these. So if you want to keep the cost low, I would recommend using the mini cluster. And this is also the fastest one as well. So we're just going to select the mini cluster in this case, GPT-4. And for the first message mode, I want to actually wait for the person to say something before speaking. So in this case, I actually don't want the assistant to speak first. I want it to wait for the user. In other words, the person on the other end of the line. So I'm going to say wait for user, and then I'm just going to remove the first message right here. So that's all I'm doing. And then here's the system prompt, which was already supplied when we created the agent based on the template. So this is kind of what it looks like, and you can customize this to your heart's desire. I actually already have one over here. So I'm just going to copy and paste in my voice agent prompt, and I'm just going to put that in here. And by the way, if you want access to this specific prompt, then you can find the template in the description below. And that includes the make.com automation, which is over here, as well as the specific prompt that I'm using for VAPI, which works pretty well. So if you want this entire prompt, then you can just grab that template down below. It's $15 on Gumroad. So you're welcome to do that. And then also you can upload files if you want it to provide it with a knowledge base. In other words, maybe you have transcripts from some of your YouTube videos or previous phone calls. You could upload all of those files here. And I'm choosing not to do that at the moment, but maybe I'll do it later once I have some transcripts from the calls. And then the temperature, I'm just going to set that to 0.7 just because it's a little bit more personable that way. And next, we're coming up on the voice configuration. So in this case, there's also a lot of options you can use here. For me, I'm actually using ElevenLabs because I already have a professional voice clone that I've trained over in ElevenLabs. And in order to set that up, I can just click here and then I can search for the professional voice clone that I've already created in ElevenLabs. If you don't have an ElevenLabs account, there's links in the description below where you can create your account. And they offer both free and paid plans. I would recommend going with the creator plan, which is around $29 per month or $22 per month, sorry, because then you can train it on more audio, so the voice is going to sound almost exactly like your actual voice, right? So that's what I'm selecting here is the professional voice clone. And that's what we're going to be using for making the calls. And I'll show you what that sounds like a little bit later in this course. So continue watching. And for the model, I'm just going to use the default. They also have ElevenLabs that can speak in different languages as well, up to 29 different languages, which is also powerful. But in this case, I just want to speak in English. So I'm just going to use the ElevenLabs Turbo version 2.5. So I'm going to select that. And for additional configuration, I would recommend turning off background sounds because we don't really need them. So I'm just going to turn that off. And you can also set the style of speaking as well. If the clarity, similarity, these sorts of things, I would recommend just maxing that out. So it's going to sound basically exactly like the voice clone. Stability, I would set that around like 0.8. And you can also turn on speaker boost as well, which is something that's built into ElevenLabs. And you can turn on auto mode to reduce latency as well. So I'd recommend just turning all of those on. And you can set your speaking speed as well. So if you want it to be faster, you can set this. If you want it to be slower, you can put it on the lower end right there. So that's all there is to it for that step. And then for the transcriber, you can use one of the built-in providers. This is basically just going to create a transcript of the conversation. So you can use DeepGram, which is the recommended default, or you can use OpenAI. And I would recommend connecting up your API key inside VAPI as well, which I'll show you how to do a little bit later, so that it can just pull from your existing account. And we're just going to use GPT-4 for transcriptions. And you might as well turn on background denoising as well to filter any background noise while the user is talking. And for tools, this is also really important to get set up, which I'll show you how to do later in the course. For now, I'm just going to add my book appointment tool and my check availability tool. So all that's doing is checking the availability on my calendar for that function and then booking the appointment using a built-in calendar integration. And that can be set up directly from within VAPI as well. So we just want to give it access to those specific tools. That's all there is to it for that step. And then for predefined functions, you don't really have to worry about anything here. Custom function, don't have to worry about anything here either. Summary, just leave that blank for now. Success evaluation, don't have to worry about that too much. And then we'll just come down to privacy. Make sure to turn on audio recording as well. And I would recommend just outputting it into an MP3 file. You can do that. You can also turn on video recording, but in this case, we're not going to be recording video. We're only going to be speaking over the phone in audio mode. And then for the start speaking plan, I wouldn't really worry too much about this. Voicemail detection, you can turn that on so it will automatically detect when it hits a voicemail. And then it can basically leave a voicemail as well. So I would recommend turning that on because in a lot of cases, you'll probably hit the voicemail and then maybe you want to leave a voice message, which can also be done using VAPI. So this is a really, really powerful platform for automating cold calling. And for call timeout, you can leave that as default. Stop speaking plan, just leave that as default. Messaging, we're going to have to set up a few things here. So under messaging is where you can actually connect up your webhook inside make.com. This is basically just listening on the webhook and it's determining when the call has started and when it's finished, basically. So we'll add that webhook in a little bit later when I show you how to set up the automation in make.com. Again, the entire template is in the description if you want to download it. It's $15 to get access to that. And for server messages, we can turn most of these off, but we want to make sure to leave on the end of call report. And function call we can turn off. Most of these we can turn off. Go ahead and leave on status update. And turn everything else off except for end of call, status update, and tool calls, because we want to make sure to get those messages over in make.com. We can get access to that. And then voicemail message, this is what it's going to say when it leaves a voicemail. So in this case, I'm just going to change this. I'm going to put, hey, this is Mike from Automogic right there. I'm calling about your appointment. Please call us back at your earliest convenience. So we could just set that as is. It's a little bit slow for some reason. I'm not sure why it's taking so long. So there we go. And then idle messages you can also set. So if the person hasn't responded for a certain amount of time, you can basically just ask a question like, "Are you still there?" or "How can I assist you further?" But in this case, I'm just going to leave those turned off. And that's pretty much all there is to it for setting up the AI voice agent. I know that was a lot to cover. And then in order to publish it, we can just click on publish up here, and it will automatically publish the AI voice agent. Sometimes you have to press it a couple times. And next, I'm going to show you a demo speaking with the agent using the Talk to Assistant feature. So I'm just going to click on Talk to Assistant, and then I can start the conversation. You may not hear it so well over the laptop audio, but I can say, "Hello," and then it starts the conversation. So that's the best way to test out the AI voice agent. And then you can also have it give you a call on the phone as well, but you will need to make sure to set up your Twilio account in order to do that. So I'll show you how to do that in the next step. So in order to set up your phone number inside VAPI, which we're going to be using for calling the potential clients, you're going to want to come over to phone numbers and select this tab and then create a phone number right here. Now, you can use a free VAPI phone number up to 10 per account. But the thing is, only US area codes are supported. So if you want to call internationally to different countries, then you're going to want to make sure to use Twilio, Vonage, or Telenex. There's a couple different options. But in this case, I just want to set Twilio as the phone number. So in order to get started with Twilio, I will say it's a little bit complicated to use, but you're going to have to create a free account on Twilio. So I'm just going to log into my account real quick. So I'm going to select my email. And from here, it's going to send me a code to my email. So I'm just going to have to wait on this two-factor authentication. I'm just going to verify I'm human as usual. And I'm going to log into my account. Once it's finished. Okay, success. I'm going to click continue. And it will send me a 6-digit code to my phone number. So there it is, 032323. Okay. So now we should be able to log into our Twilio account. And from here, basically what you're going to have to do is to buy a phone number through Twilio. And it's only about $1. And they also provide free credits when you create your account on Twilio. So basically you can just draw from those free credits when you buy your phone number. So now that we're inside Twilio, we can basically buy a phone number. So you'll go down to phone numbers, manage, and go to active numbers, I believe. So once we're under active numbers, you can see I already have a phone number through Twilio, which is registered in California, plus 341 area code. And it also includes a webhook for voice and messaging as well. So that's just through Twilio. If you want to buy your phone number, you click up here on buy a number. And from here, you will see all of the available numbers through Twilio. And like I said, it's only about $1 roughly to buy a phone number. You're just going to want to choose your area code where it's placing the call from and take a look through the numbers here that are available for purchase. So here's all the different numbers. You can see the monthly fee. So this is actually a monthly fee. And then you also have to pay to buy the phone number as well. So in order to do that, we're just going to click on buy, and you can see the monthly fee, and you can also see the cost for the number somewhere here as well. So you'll be charged $115. Afterwards, you'll be charged $115 per month in addition to the usage you incur on the phone number. So it's basically you're through VAPI, you're going to be getting charged a certain amount every time you place a call, and then also, I believe, through Twilio as well. So if you want to buy this phone number, you can just click on buy, and then it will purchase the phone number, and it will use most likely the credits that you already have on your free account. So once that's done, you can come over to active numbers, and you should see it listed here. And then all you have to do from here is copy and paste this number and put it into your VAPI account. So that's what I'm going to do over here. I'm just going to copy and paste my Twilio phone number and put it in here. And then you also need your Twilio account SID and your authentication token as well. So let me find that real quick. So here's the phone number SID. This is what you're going to need for putting into VAPI. This is under properties on Twilio. So we're going to come back over to VAPI and enter that SID, and then also authentication token. So if you want to find your API key, you go to account management, and then under keys and credentials, you'll click on API keys and then just create a new one. And then we're just going to create a new API key right here and just use the standard key type and create that API key, right? So once API key is created, I'm not going to show you that step here because it's private and I don't want to give away my API key. But you're basically just going to copy that in to your VAPI over here, auth token and the account SID, and then give it a label as well. Once that's done, you will have your phone number through Twilio imported into VAPI, and then you can select your phone number here. You can also connect up your assistant that we want to use for this specific number, and you can even call numbers through here as well. So if I want to call up individual numbers, I can do that from here and test it out. So if I want to place a call, I could put in a phone number, which I'm actually going to come over to my lead list right here. I'll show you what this looks like a little bit later. And I'm just going to input that phone number, and I can make a call directly from here. So if I click on make a call, it's just going to call up that person using my assistant, right? So you can do this manually, or you can use the outbound call tab over here to place the calls and then create a campaign. I'm not going to show you how to do that in this particular course. You will have to figure it out on your own, but it's really pretty straightforward. All you do is click on create a campaign and import a CSV file, and then you can start calling people using your assistant. But in this case, I want to use make.com to do this. So I'll show you how to set up this automation. Again, the entire template for this, including the prompt that I'm using inside VAPI, is available in the description below, and it's $15 if you want access to that. So you're welcome to check it out to save time rather than doing it yourself, or you can just follow around in this course, and I'll show you step by step how to set this up. So now that we've set up the AI voice assistant using our voice clone and ElevenLabs, I will show you how to set up an automation within make.com to get access to this voice agent and call phone numbers from a spreadsheet. So in order to do that, we're going to come over to make.com. If you don't already have your free account on make.com, there's links in the description below where you can sign up. It's completely free, although I would recommend upgrading to the paid plan, which is only about $10 per month and allows for 10,000 operations per month. So it just allows you a lot more operations. And you can also create a lot more scenarios as well. So in order to create a new scenario, you're going to come over here to scenarios and then just click on create a scenario at the top. I already have my VAPI AI voice agent automation in here. So I'm just going to click on that and it will open it up. And then from here, I'm just going to click on edit at the top. So that will allow me to start editing the automation. And basically, it's pretty simple. All we're doing is we're searching for rows in a Google Sheet. Since I already have a list of leads, in this case, real estate companies or people that work at real estate companies in the US. So all I'm going to do is select that spreadsheet and then the sheet name as well. I've got leads from different job titles that I've basically scraped using Apify and Apollo. If you want to see the automation tutorial on how to do that, you can just check through my channel. I've also created a full tutorial about that as well. And for table contains headers, I'm going to set yes, because it does have headers at the top. And basically what this filter is doing is it's checking for whether we've already called this person or not. So I have another field in the spreadsheet over here, which is basically just, it should be called called right here. And as you can see, these are the people that we've already called. So every time we create a new call or we call somebody, we're just going to update that field. So in order to pull somebody in from the Google Sheet, we must have not already called them yet, right? And then for the limit, it's just set to 1. We only want to get one person at a time, obviously, because we're only calling one person at a time. So we're just going to set the limit to 1. And that'll go through and get each particular row from the sheet. And then after that, we want to put them into an array. So in this case, all I really need is the first name and the phone number. Everything else is pretty much irrelevant. So I need their name and their phone number, and then we're putting it into an array here. In order to drop in this module, all you have to do is click Add Module, and then you will search for Array right here and add an array aggregator. So all that's doing is it's getting the list from the Google Sheet, creating an array out of it, and stepping through one at a time. So in this particular case, actually, if I want to call, let's say, 10 people and step through each one individually, I can insert 10 here, and then it's going to put those 10 entries into an array, and it's going to step through them individually one at a time. So this is the iterator right here, and it's just going to do that one at a time. But I would recommend waiting a couple seconds between each phone call. So now that we're doing it this way, I'm just going to add a wait time in here. So in order to do that, I'm going to add this to the iterator. I'm going to put in sleep. So there's a sleep module under tools, and all that's going to do is wait, let's say 180 seconds. So it's going to wait 180 seconds before placing each call. So that's all we're doing there. Now that we're actually getting 10 entries, we don't want to just call everybody at the same time. It needs to wait a certain amount of time between each call. So that's what we're doing there. And then the next step is going to be adding in the VAPI module. So, Make.com has hundreds and almost, probably thousands of different apps connected up inside Make, which is very powerful. And if you want to create an outbound call, all you have to do is go to VAPI and search for create a call, and then drop in this one right here, create an outbound phone call. So in order to set this up, it's very simple. All you have to do is select your assistant ID, in this case, Mike. That's the one that I'm using. And my voice sounds exactly like me on the call. And then for the phone number, we're going to set Twilio as the phone number. That's what we did in the previous step where we imported the Twilio phone number. So we're going to be using that phone number for placing the calls. And then from here, we can either select customer or customers. So I would recommend just setting customer. And then from here, we can drop in the phone number from the iterator that we've set up. So there's the individual phone number from the person that we're working on calling right now. So that's the person's phone number. We're just going to drop it in over here as the customer phone number that we want to call. And that's all there is to it for this particular module right here. So now, after we've made the phone call, there's a way to monitor this with a webhook, but it's just making it more complicated than it needs to be. We can basically just do everything within the same automation. So all I'm going to do here is search for a row using that specific phone number that we've already called. So you're going to want to come down to filter here and then select the row. So that's the phone number row. And then you're going to drop in the phone number that we just called, right? So that's basically just searching the Google Sheet for that specific phone number. And then we're just going to update the row. That's all we're doing here. So I'm just going to select that row number that we got from the previous step. So we'll drag in the row number. And then all we're doing here is setting the called field to yes, which if you remember earlier, when I talked about the first Google Sheet module right here, that's the filter that we're using in order to decide whether to call this particular person or not, right here, called. So if it does not exist, then we're not going to call that person, right? Which means we haven't already called them. So anything over here that says yes, we're going to skip that one and then call the next person in the Google Sheet, right? So that's all there is to it for setting up the automation. And then in the next step, I'm going to show you what this looks like in practice. Now for the moment of truth, we're going to test out this automation within make.com and get a phone call on the phone and see what this sounds like using the AI voice agent that we've already set up in VAPI. So I'm just going to click on run once, and it's going to go through the automation. And in this particular case, it's actually waiting on the wrong step. So this one, I did mess up a little bit. This should be after we've placed the phone call, right? So I'm going to move this. All you have to do is drag this over here, unlink this one, and then connect this up, unlink this one, and then drag this down like this, right? That's all there is to it. So now it's going to place the phone call, and then it's going to wait and then loop back around, right? So in this case, actually, what I should do, sorry, I should place this at the end of the automation right here. So it's going to update the rows since we've already called that person, and then it's going to wait and then loop back around to the next step and then call 10 people using this method. So I'm just going to click on run again. And now, as you can see, it has placed a phone call to this particular customer with this phone number here. So it just called that person, and now it's waiting 180 seconds, and then it's going to work on the next person and just go like that until it's finished calling 10 people on the list. But in this particular case, I actually want to hard code in the phone number since it's calling somebody on my leads list, and I want it to call me instead. But first, I just want to check, and it did update the row here, and it says we've already called this person, right? So that's done. And basically what we can do is just go through this entire list and cold call these people. But in this case, I'm going to set this as my phone number. So I'm going to put in my phone number here, and I'll probably hide this later so you won't actually be able to see my phone number. But I'm just going to add hard code in my phone number, and we're also going to set this to 1 in this particular case because we don't really want it going on 10 different people. So I'm just going to click run, and then I should get a phone call right away on my phone. There we go. There's the phone call from California. I'm going to swipe up. Hello.
Hi, this is Mike from Automogic. Is now a good time to talk?
Yes.
Great. We help businesses like yours to save time and money by automating repetitive tasks using AI. I just have a couple quick questions to see if our solutions might be a fit for you. Interested in more detail?
Sure.
Awesome. First off, what's your name and what kind of business or industry you're in?
My name's Mike. I have an AI automation agency.
Nice to meet you, Mike. And your teams, is it just you, a few employees, or a larger company?
Just me. I'm a solo entrepreneur.
Got it. If you could snap your fingers and automate 1 or 2 tasks in your business right now, what would they be?
Cold calling.
Cold calling can be quite time consuming. Have you tried any automation tools or AI solutions for that already? If so, how did that go?
Yes, it's going well. I'm talking to you right now.
That's fantastic to hear. Based on what you've told me, it sounds like we could help you save even more time and maybe uncover new revenue opportunities. We offer a free consultation where one of our specialists walks you through what's possible and gives you a personalized roadmap. Would you like me to schedule that for you?
Yes, please.
Great. When would you prefer to have the consultation call? Just let me know the date and time that suits you best. For reference, today is July 19th, 2025 UTC.
Tomorrow at 11 a.m. is perfect.
Tomorrow at 11 a.m. UTC is available. Could you please provide your phone number and email address for the appointment confirmation?
Sure, my phone number is 555-123-45678. And my email is mike@gmail.com.
Your consultation is all set for tomorrow at 11 a.m. UTC. I've sent a confirmation to your email, mike@gmail.com. Is there anything else you'd like to know?
No, that's all for now. Thank you so much.
You're welcome, Mike. Have a great day, and I'll look forward to our chat tomorrow. Take care.
Okay, so that's it. So it just did the entire conversation. And now if I check my calendar, I will find a consultation call scheduled on my calendar. I don't know if you can see that. Free consultation with Mike, AI automation, right there, for from 6 to 7 p.m. tomorrow. And that's it. So it works. And in the next step, I'm going to show you how to actually set up the checking for availability and also booking the appointments directly through VAPI. So now we've done everything from creating the AI voice clone using the assistance tab inside VAPI. We've also connected up a phone number directly from within Twilio. So now we have a phone number, and we've created the automation in make.com over here, which places the phone calls. And as you can see, it already works. It can schedule the calls on the calendar, check availability. I would say that the script is pretty good already. And now the last step is setting up the tools. I haven't showed you how to actually set up the tools yet. So in order to do that, we need to come over to the Tools tab and then come up to create a tool and then come down to Google Calendar. So in this case, we're going to create an event and we're going to check availability right here. So in order to do that, we'll just drop in these tools. And I just called mine book appointment and check availability. Very easy to understand. And from here, this one is just says the function schedules calls on my calendar based on the user's preferred date and time. And check availability function checks the date and time availability for the user to book a consultation call, right? And that's pretty much all there is to it for creating the tools. And then you will also need to connect up your calendar within VAPI as well. And in order to do that, you'll need to come down to settings by clicking on your profile. And then over here, you can connect up the integrations. So come on down to integrations, and then you'll just search for calendar here. So there's your Google Calendar. All you have to do is connect that up. It's very easy using OAuth. You will just log into your calendar, connect up your calendar under integrations, and anything else that you might want to connect up in here as well, including make.com. So you can connect up your API key here. And also, I would recommend connecting up OpenAI and maybe Anthropic as well, just for like transcriptions and that sort of thing. So you can do all of that through integrations. And basically, the last step is that you have to set this up inside your agent as well. So again, if you want this entire prompt, it's available, link in the description below where you can get this. And it's a very long conversation that we're having here. And then one of the things that's included in here, let me come on over to my other agent because it's in this one. So we'll open that up and you can see down here the function call. So here's the function call. Once the customer name and preferred date and time is collected, run the check availability function. And then we have specific instructions for that, and then also for the book appointment as well. So we don't have to, build this out inside make.com. I think it's just a little bit more complicated than it needs to be. You can do everything directly from within VAPI, and then basically what you're doing is just using the automation to run VAPI. So you don't have to use the outbound calls feature over here, which for me personally is not working. So if I were to do this and import a CSV, select the phone number and assistant, I can't actually call the phone numbers for some reason through VAPI. I'm not exactly sure why. Maybe it's something that I need the paid plan for. I'm not really sure. So I've just decided to build out this automation to do it instead. And now basically it's just a matter of running this, and I can set, however many people I want to pull in, or instead of adding this sleep module at the end, all I have to do is set the run frequency. So I can have this run every 15 minutes, and then you don't even have to worry about making it wait at the end. It'll just run automatically every 15 minutes. And yeah, that's pretty much all there is to it. To wrap things up, I just wanted to take you through and show you my free school community. It's called AI Automation Station. Link in the description below if you want to sign up. It's completely free to join. We've got about 435 members in here right now, and it's growing fast. And the reason I mention this is because I have a classroom tab here with all of my how-to guides, step-by-step tutorials. I've even got a complete automation course on make.com. All of my templates are in here, and then also the courses as well. So most of these are paid, and then some of these are free. But if you want to join the community, it's completely free. And you can basically just get access to all these people that are learning about AI. And that will help you to speed up your learning of these skills, right? So you're welcome to join make.com. Like I say, it's growing fast, completely free, and would love to see you inside the community. And also, when you join, I will ask you where you found the school community. You can either put school, YouTube, Google, or through a referral. So I really appreciate it if you join, and I guess I'll see you inside. Thanks so much for watching this full course showing how to build out an AI voice agent in VAPI. If you have any questions at all, post in the comments below. And again, feel free to join my school community. Look forward to hearing from you.